Welcome to Studio Stories. My name is Simon Stone. I'm going to share with you some insights and fun things, and also some very important things you should know about being in the entertainment industry. Let's start with who I am. My name again is Simon Stone. I am a recording artist. I am a songwriter. I am a producer. I am now a content creator. Shout to Netflix TV. I'm I am a plethora of things. Also, I'm an artist and a published author. I started out making music at a young age. Fast forward some time, I started working with a lot of different acts to more write for other people and make beats. And I learned quickly that there's a big difference between making a beat at home and doing actual production. And a lot of people don't know that that is a difference. You can make a beat, but to produce it takes a lot more. Do you know the levels? Do you know how the decibel should be? Do you know how the mix should be? So all those things go into it. So if you're going to be a producer, you want to learn how to do the whole gambit and not just how to put a beat together, because there is a lot that goes into a song outside of just making the beat. The beat is like if you're making a cake, the beat is just the seasoning to the cake. It's not how it's baked. It's not the milk. It's not the eggs. It's just one part to the cake. So that was the first thing that I learned. Later, I joined a band originally called Mojo 99 that became Heavy Mojo. Shout out to the guys. We toured really the world together. We toured extensively with a lot of nationally known acts, Fishbone, Rehab, many more, classic acts, up to the gambit of everything that you can imagine we toured with. One of the mistakes I made that I don't want you to make is that I focused so much on the art that I did not focus enough on the business in the beginning. My band was, we were so intent on being the best live performers. A lot of times the business end of things kind of snuck through our fingertips. And you have to be on top of both. One of the good things about now is that the internet makes the world a lot smaller and a lot easier to get to people and to get to things where you don't have to necessarily go through a plethora of steps to do things. Now you can basically go from your bedroom to the internet, who is your audience, within days, if not hours, of creating. Whereas once upon a time, you had to go through a lot of different steps. So the most important thing to know is copyright your music. Set up your own publishing company. You do not need anybody's help to set up a publishing company. Be sure that your branding is part of your copyrights, that you own your brand, you own your name. If you come up with a phrase or you're selling t-shirts with a phrase, copyright, own that phrase. Do not share the money. You don't need to. It's your creation. You need to benefit and profit for it so you can leave a legacy for people that come after you, children, grandchildren, so on and so forth. Never sign anything until you know what you're signing, or you have someone that you trust to read over what you're signing. Contracts are very confusing. Paragraph 2, part 1 goes with paragraph 19, part 7. And if you don't know how to put those dots together, find somebody who can. I know a lot of people now are going the independent route, which is great. And if you're doing that route, be sure that you're still looking at all paperwork. Be sure that you're taking the time to know what you're signing. You will see a check for $30,000 and you will think, yes, but what's attached to that $30,000 check? You may have signed something away if you're not completely aware of what you're signing. So that's one of the things that I tell anybody that's in the music industry or any industry, be it the film, television. Your content is your heritage. It is your history. Hold on to it and be sure that you have a legacy to leave behind for others. I can't stress that enough, because it's a painful thing to see an artist. I'm going to use an old school artist. George Clinton does not own a lot of the publishing for the great funk hits that he made during the 70s, 80s, and even the 90s. He doesn't own any of that. You don't want to fall into that category because you signed some bad business dealings. So take time, learn the industry, learn your craft. And that goes beyond just being able to play an instrument or being able to sing or rap. Be sure you learn the business end as well, because there is a business end. It's called the music business. It should be called the business of music, because the business really comes first. So just remember, learn the business, learn what the contracts mean, learn everything. Because really, at the end of the day, your art is really a small fraction of what you will be doing to create and be a creative. It's a small fraction. The business and how you create and generate your monetary is what's important. So be sure you stay on top of that. I personally did not learn a lot of that branding and things of that nature until later on in the game. And if I had learned it earlier, I probably would be a lot further, and I probably would have a lot more capital that I would have made had I known what I know today. So I hope that the things that I'm saying will help somebody. Even if it helps one person, I feel like that is the goal to do, because that one person can spark the next person, that sparks the next person, and then we all uplift each other. So I hope that this is getting to you in a positive manner. So the band, my band is still technically together. We're best friends. We all love each other. But there came a time when we kind of needed to everybody needed to go and feel their own way. So I created what was known as Stone Johnson, which was myself, and shout to Mr. Johnson. We created an entity between the two of us where we were sharing production duties. I would write a song and give it to him, and he would tell me what to change, or he would change it, or, he would give me something and I would tweak it and make it more in tune to whatever I was feeling, or we both were feeling at the time. So that became something I branded. And during that same particular time where the band wasn't particularly working on anything, I also wrote a book called Violin, shameless plug, which I'm re-releasing very soon. I just had it re-edited, and I'm going to have it on Kindle and all platforms coming out very, very soon. I just got the manuscript, the re-edited manuscript. So that will be released, and I'm actually doing like an audio book to go along with it, with songs and a lot of the poems on there. So these things that I learned, and now I'm trying to monetize my brand as best as I can, and love what I'm doing, because you have to learn the journey. You have to love it. You have to learn it, love it, live it. That's the only way that you can really make something happen and be proud and happy with what you've done. With what you've done. So the real thing, if you take anything away from what I'm telling you, if you learn anything and you want something to hold on to, this is what I want you to know. Your branding, your publishing, your ownership, your content is your legacy. It's your history. Own it as much as possible. Don't give anything away. And I say give for a reason, because there is nothing behind what you do. If you believe in it, that means more to you in spirit than what it will mean if you actually still own it and you are the person that is able to license your product. That's a big step where money comes from. If you're able to have your branding be utilized somewhere else, and that generates revenue for you, that's what you want ultimately. That's what every artist wants. You just want to be recognized, and your music, your video, your paintings, your tattoos, whatever you're doing, you want to appreciate it. Own, control your branding and publishing. That's the most important thing. Your copyrights, own, control. Do not let anybody else do it for you. It's very simple. Look up copyright. You can do it yourself. Don't let anybody else do that for you. And that's what I want you to know. I hope that you gathered something from this. I hope that I did something to help somebody. Thank you for having me today. I want to thank Netflix TV, 400 bosses, you understand? See y'all next time on Studio Stories.